Bischoff has referred to the fall of the NWO and WCW. I mean, as a company, is sort of death by a thousand cuts. From your perspective, I mean, what do you think ultimately led to the downfall? First of the NWO and then the WCW.
I mean, the NWO, it was, I think Starrcade 97 was kind of the first chink in the armor, right? As far as like that storyline went. I thought 97 WCW was just phenomenal, the way they built Sting up. And it was so clear, right, that Sting had to go over in that match. Like, that was the thing.
Yeah.
I know that maybe he wasn't in his best mindset at that time, or even physical, from a physical standpoint, either Sting, but still, like, you invested so much in building him up, you have to pull the trigger on putting him over for real, not in a half-back way. The fans really wanted him to win that, and it just didn't happen. And then the follow-up to that was even more of a debacle. People forget, man, like, Starrcade 97 is what everyone talks about, right? The Nitro after, the next Nitro, they did a rematch, Hogan and Sting again, and it went off the air before the match ended. And they didn't show the finish of the match until the debut of Thunder a week and a half later as basically a ratings ploy. Like, we'll show you on this new show, a week and a half later. What an FU to the fans that were sticking by you for so long. What a way to tell them that, they did not matter. Like, all that credibility that you built up, in 96 and 97 with the NWO and then Sting story arc. And then you do Starrcade 97 followed by that. I mean, just like, as a fan watching that, how do you say, like, you can't trust them anymore? Come up with like good stuff, because like they did that. It's almost like a betrayal of your investment in time as a fan, and your hard-earned money at times as well. So that was a big one to me. And then I always say that the Wolfpack breaking off to me is kind of like the ending of the NWO, at least the first story arc of the NWO. And what I mean by that is the storyline was always an invasion. It was a takeover. These guys are coming from the outside, trying to take over WCW. And then once the Wolfpack split off, then it was just kind of like an infighting between the two groups, the two NWOs. It was like a civil war. And it no longer became about taking over WCW and, making everyone, NWO. It kind of lost like that. It lost like the plot in a sense. And look, I don't mean that like necessarily in a bad way, because the Wolfpack was hot. I loved Wolfpack as a kid. They were great baby faces, but to me, that was like the kind of the end of the NWO angle as it was supposed to be and meant to be, because then it was no longer like a takeover.